Hi, welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Today I'm in Bad Aussee, Austria, in the center of town, actually the geographical center of the city, of all of Austria in fact, and this is the Mercedes Bridge. And I wanted to feature this because I stumbled across this rather peculiar bridge during my visit on a family vacation. As you can see here, the middle point of Austria is found in Bad Aussee, and specifically this was commemorated in the very middle of town with this Mercedes Brücke, or Mercedes Bridge. And it's quite an interesting bridge. It's one that you see the confluence here of different rivers, and I'll show you some images from the hill as well as some video. But the strangest thing about it, I think, is the fact that at some levels one could argue that it doesn't entirely fit in with the landscape. When you think of Bad Aussee, Austria, you might think of this whole region of Grundlsee and Salzkammergut, the sound of music, and these kinds of picturesque landscapes, or these foot parks that they have just in the center of the city. And then when you go back and look at this image here from the hill of the Mercedes Bridge, you might find it indeed quite striking and controversial. Indeed, as I saw in one online guide, one person called it the most disgusting demonstration of corporate power that he or she had seen. And so I found it quite interesting when I visited Bad Aussee to see this bridge. And in particular, I asked some locals, I asked about what were some of the reactions when this bridge was built, and I believe it was in 2005. And the most I could get out of people was that there was a very wealthy entrepreneur who was connected to Mercedes and put up the money for this. And then I pressed people and I said, well, you know, was it controversial? Were people concerned? And I got contrasting reactions. I think some people enjoyed it. They enjoyed the uniqueness of it. And others, in fact, said, it's terrible. It's so corporate. If you look at the area around it, it doesn't fit in at all. It's not about nature. It's not about landscape. It doesn't have any of the charm that you might see in the downtown district of Bad Aussee, Austria. You can see the buildings here just beyond the bridge. So I found it quite remarkable to find this. And I took some images here. I don't know if you can read that, but it talks a little bit about the name, Mercedes brand, what does it mean, and then I think in a little bit later here I'll get another shot of a plaque which talks about why the bridge was built. And so I think it's an interesting phenomenon to think about, and you could take the bridge out of it, you could take Bad Aussee or Austria, the bucolic city of Bad Aussee, Austria, out of it, and you can just ask, anytime you're designing something for a space, is it appropriate to that space? I'm not taking a position here. I'm kind of ambivalent about it myself, but I found that some locals, indeed, as I said earlier, didn't like it, others did. But I think the question of appropriateness has to take in different contexts. It has to take in certainly design. You have to talk about fit. How does something like this fit in with the landscape or not? Is it appropriate? What will locals feel, and so forth. And so these are a number of questions I think that we could consider here as we reflect on another still image of this controversial Mercedes Bridge in Bad Aussee, Austria. So something to think about into the future, whether you're looking at bridges or any other spaces and you're thinking about the appropriateness of a particular space or the symbols, design, architecture that are used to tell a story in that space. So please come back for additional video features of the Immersive Worlds Handbook.